My name is John Haila, I'm Mayor of the City of Ames, and I'm pleased to welcome all of you to this exciting ribbon cutting ceremony this morning. And before I get started, I want to just introduce some of our elected officials and our representatives. We have Emily from, I think, Representative Feenstra's office is here. Thank you. Also, we have Secretary of Agriculture Mike Naig. Is that right? All right. Very good. And with City Council, we have Tim Garton over here. I see Gloria Betcher. Is there anybody else that I am missing who's an elected official? I apologize, but I want to make sure we get recognized. Well, this is a day that has been long anticipated, one that Council has been extremely committed to for quite some time, and we're just happy to see it completion. And before I open my comments, on behalf of City Council, I want to thank all the business owners. For those that may not be aware, we went back to the front of the people's buildings, and the access was very limited. And I think I see Karen Chitty nodding her head, the director of Campus Town Action Association. It was very disruptive, and so thank you for your patience. For decades, the Welch Avenue has served as a connection between Campus Town and Iowa State University. It's both a bridge and a transition. And it was important to create an environment that met the needs and expectations of so many different users. The Campus Town area has undergone major redevelopment along Lincoln Way and along Welch Avenue. And with the introduction of more density, taller buildings, more housing options, and more business opportunities. The goal of the Welch Avenue reconstruction has been to create a street that promotes safe, multimodal transportation, encourages people to gather, allows for outdoor seating, and creates a fun, welcoming environment for all the users. And I hope that you have an opportunity to walk down and observe what has been done, and we think it's a tremendous improvement. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Municipal Engineer Tracy Peterson, who's going to share more information about the project. And I think you were the head of this overall project as well, too. Is that right?
It was.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. The project was initiated to replace century-old underground infrastructure. So you may have driven on Welch Avenue before, but what is underground is really some of the challenges that we were facing. And so with the great redevelopment, we had an opportunity to replace the water system and the sanitary sewer system, which was that deep excavation. What gave us the opportunity to do that is removing the pavement and having an opportunity to do the water quality components, as you have seen today as well. So before the street was designed, the city began collecting data, and we met with the citizens of Ames, the businesses, Campus Town Action Association, Iowa State University, citizens. We took a really unique approach in looking at the streetscape components, and we're doing a lot of voting. So we did this dot voting, whether it was at an eco fair or at a event on campus with the Welcome Fest. We took that opportunity to show cross sections and get feedback what the citizens and the businesses wanted in the area. So working with the students groups, they actually even went out on their own and did even more outreach. And so it was a great collaboration with the community. So City Council ultimately considered that data and decided on the wide sidewalks, the bike lanes in each direction, and then implementing these water quality features. So the street slopes to the north. I always get my directions turned around when I'm in Campus Town on Welch, but as you can see, it drains directly to the north towards College Creek. So with this opportunity came the water quality features that we like to use and could be used on multiple infrastructure projects, but we also were able to look at the timing of this project. So originally it was going to be constructed in 2019, but we then ended up with a construction in 2020, and we're able to work with some of the businesses that were already going to be closed and have the reconstruction happen, hopefully to minimize those impacts. Yet, as the mayor already thanked the businesses, construction is always inconvenient, so we really wanted to make sure that we were keeping this business district open the best we could. So I would like to thank everybody. This was a very complex project, a lot of collaboration. It takes a team and a community to really do these projects. And so I would like to thank the Ames Public Works engineering staff and really appreciate the direction that John Joyner gives us, and the team, Hafiz and Jesus, were out here every day, worked hard on the design and the construction, and I really appreciate that. Liz worked very hard with Jake on the stormwater features, and we appreciate that as well. Really, thank you. Ames Electric, if you can see, there's new light poles, street lights. WHKS and Company has joined us here today as well. I want to thank Angie and Derek and their team for the design, as well as RDG. Eric Iverson had worked hard on the streetscape components as well. And then the contractors, it takes a team to build it. And so Construct, On Track Construction, Distinctive Landscapes, Caruth Construction, and Iowa Plains Signing, I would really like to thank them as well. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Secretary Naig to come up, and then I will come back on to set the stage for the ribbon cutting.
Exciting. Thank you. Thanks, Tracy. Mayor, thank you very much. Ames Fire, thanks for hosting us again today. There is no better way to see what a project can look like or what the benefit is than to do one of these in the rain. And, that's a good thing. But well, we're thrilled to be here and thankful to be a part of this celebration. I love this project. Was able to be here when we kicked off and announced it. And I am so thrilled with what the result is. I remember one of the things about this project that really appealed to me was, yes, we got the urban conservation practices that we're interested in as the department, as part of our efforts to advance the nutrient reduction strategy. But what the city of Ames gets, and what folks in the town and what the businesses get, is a beautiful streetscape. It really is pretty from storefront to storefront. And that aging infrastructure that was underneath the road needed to be addressed. And so you can put all that together and end up with a project that really is something to be proud of. And it was Earth Day, I remember we were reminded of back in 2019 that we were here to kick off this Campus Town project. I want to acknowledge too Paul Miller. Paul, wave your hand back here. Paul leads our urban conservation group at the Iowa Department of Ag, and Paul and his team work with communities all across the state to develop these kinds of projects. In fact, as part of we just announced in the last couple of weeks, $102 million worth of water quality projects that will get done in the near future in the state of Iowa. Part of that was 12 new urban conservation projects funded around $1 million from the Department of Ag, matched with local dollars, just like this one was. And that's exciting to see that kind of progress all across the state. We did make an investment through our urban conservation program in this project as well. And again, the practices that you see here, the permeable pavers, the bioretention system, the tree trenches, the planter boxes, obviously it's a great addition here, but what we like to see too is it's a great model for what can be done in other parts of the state. And so now we've got a great place, a community that's kind of got an association with learning, right? Ames does, and I think now we can send people right here to Welch Avenue to be able to show what can be done in communities all across the state. It's a great demonstration effort, and thanks for taking that on and for the investment on the part of the community. So for all of that, for the benefit of this community and everybody who walks down this street, for everybody who lives downstream, and for the folks that can learn from this effort, this is a great project, worth the investment, and I want to thank you all for being here today to help not break ground. We're cutting a ribbon today. We're cutting a ribbon and to be able to really enjoy this great project. So thanks again.
Thank you. Well, I want to talk just briefly. You see the tree trenches and you see the boxes. So what's underneath is a large section of soil cells. So that soil will provide more space for the trees to grow and for the water quality to be treated as it comes in through not only the permeable pavers, but through the intake system. And so into that, it gets filtered out, and the plants that were just planted, so they're pretty small right now, but they're gonna grow 2 to 3 feet tall, and they're gonna continue to have some nice blooming as well, especially with the planters there. We'll have a lot more aesthetic area in Campus Town than we've had in the past, and so it's going to be a pretty unique and watching those plants grow. I want to also thank Prairie Rivers of Iowa RCND and the Iowa Stormwater Education Partnership for all of the work with water quality in our community and helping us to educate the community and to even talk about this project with other communities within the state, because that is a nice collaboration that, as Secretary Naig talked about, we are able to help one another and improve water quality throughout the whole state. So one other thing that you might not know is that the downside of the tree trenches are a little wider and they're a little taller, and that was intentional so that they are benches. So as you come out into Campus Town, please go grab some food or beverage from one of the nice restaurants and sit on the bench that is the tree trench. So we also have ordered and will be installed in early June trash receptacles, benches, and bike racks. So just to let you know, we have not forgot those. They are on their way. It just had some lead time with the ordering. So with that, I would like to welcome everybody to come up, and I would love it if Jesus and Haviz would be willing to be part of this ribbon cutting as well. You're such an integral part. And Liz and Jake, please, everybody come up and we will have the ribbon cutting.
1, 2, 3.